Hey guys, it is launch day for the Trans Am drag strip video. I've literally got it uploading as I'm making this video, and it is going to be published really soon. I mean, we're talking about within the next hour. So today's video is going to be kind of taking you with me for just a moment as I'm moments away from publishing this video and going live.
In a world where nuclear war has begun, vampires fought back in super real 3D.
Every time I do a project for Trans Am, there is always a lot of pressure because the product is extremely, well, it's not cheap. A video for a 1,000+ horsepower Super Duty drag race edition. I want to say these start around $150,000. No, I don't have one. No, I didn't work out a deal to make a video for one. What this company is trying to do is sell cars in a territory where really the players in that price league, this is Todd now, so I have to see what we're talking about. Okay guys, officially the video is launched. I had to stop while I was filming this episode because Todd called in, had a question, we talked about a few things, video finished. Long story short, video is officially published as of like 5 minutes ago. I have a feeling anytime we put, like when we did the GTO versus the Mustang, that video caused a ton of controversy because anytime that you start showing horsepower and racing and stuff like that and times, people have things to say and guess about. So I'm curious to see what the conversation thread is like on this video over the course of time. Anyway, back to the main video here. It's been like 10 minutes and we're up to like almost a couple hundred plays on Facebook for the teaser so far, and like 50 something views on YouTube. So 10 minutes in, nobody was expecting the video, not too bad for the beginning. When it comes to Facebook and you putting a video on Facebook directly through their video player, they're going to push that way more than if you just put a YouTube link. They do not want people that are on Facebook to leave Facebook and go look at YouTube. So if you upload the video directly to Facebook, they're gonna share it way more. And I made a whole video on that. If you wanna check that out, it's right up here, or wait, is it here? It's here. Which I get confused because in YouTube, when you put the card, it goes up on either side and I'm not that used to it, but it's in one of these two corners. I will mention one other thing though, that is a huge factor in whether or not your video gets a bunch of plays or not. And that is other sites sharing your video, like other websites or publications that have websites. So Motor Trend, for instance, one of many magazines that picks up these Trans Am videos every time, writes an article on it, shares a link to the YouTube in their article. That's a huge driver for traffic. So that is another thing that happens, and sometimes, you know, these companies will grab that stuff, throw it up on their site. You're just going to see your video get hacked apart sometimes, which is crazy. I've seen different edits of my videos appear on people's channels and have different voiceovers, and I'm like, what the hell? And it's under a different production name, and I'm like, oh.
In 1977, Burt Reynolds starred in Smokey and the Bandit, a film famous not only for its mammoth haul at the box office, but for turning the 1977 Trans Am into an icon. Each Trans Am packs 840 horsepower, a T-top so you can feel the wind blow, and a screaming gold Firebird on the hood. There's only one thing left to do. Put the hammer down and give it hell.
The black cars really got driven hard. That was the car to have. I mean, everybody wanted to be the Bandit.
Yeah, got a lot of looks.
Burt Reynolds is fundamentally responsible for the success of the Trans Am brand.
It was always something you talk about, and people always come up to you and say, hey, man, you guys need to get Burt Reynolds in. And you're like, yeah, whatever, you know?
This truly is the crown jewel.
I loved it. I fell in love. Said, I'll get a car like that.
He's the man. So if he says he likes it and it's good, then you're done.
You know, the best way to say it is I'm just really proud to be part of it.
Now, we're still going to upload the video directly to Facebook as well. We're just going to wait a few days. And hopefully somebody doesn't rip it off of YouTube and put it on Facebook, which has happened in the past. And that turns into a whole other thing that happened with the Burt Reynolds Bandit Edition video that we did. Somebody ripped it, and it did. That was before we even tried uploading videos directly to Facebook, because this was a few years ago. And it started just absolutely cannibalizing the plays that were happening on YouTube, and we were looking at a couple million plays on YouTube, and we were looking at like 12 million plus plays on Facebook, and the numbers just kept going up and up and up, and it ended up falling somewhere around 20 plus million plays on Facebook. If you look at our YouTube for the Bandit Burt Reynolds edition video, it's like 4.6 million. Then somebody re-uploaded it again later, and we uploaded it and stuff. If you start adding all those views together, it falls somewhere around 40 million views happened for the Burt Reynolds Bandit Edition video that I made, which is pretty cool. But it would have been even cooler if somehow all those numbers were in one place, so you could just hop on that YouTube video and see that I made a video that had 40 plus million plays. But instead I have to explain this elaborate story of how it accumulated, and it ended up being around that. So that was pretty cool. Quality assurance. Every little part matters, and some little hiccups can happen when you go to export a video. So you have to, like, you know, pace your way through it frame by frame in certain parts to make sure nothing gets out of whack, especially when you're working with higher resolutions, big 4K or 6K files. You're assigning movement to those inside of your editor to go left or right, or to zoom in and zoom out. And sometimes when you're doing that, your video you don't realize that a movement that you assign to it, like if you're changing size at the same time that it's moving, sometimes it can fall out of your video window and you'll have like this black weird space in the top, or you'll reveal that you actually had a shot that was slightly crooked and you you straightened it. But because when you straightened it, like now the actual video is a little bit at an angle, and as it moves up and down, you have less headroom or side room depending on which way you rotated the image. And if anybody that's worked in Photoshop or does any mild editing can be familiar with this if you're used to recomposing your image. And I highly recommend, even on my best shots, I oftentimes recompose a bit, because while I'm shooting, in general, unless it's a super, super tight shot, I shoot a little bit wider than maybe I even wanted it, just in case something happens that happens outside of the frame. Anyway, so that's kind of what's going on. Video went live, fun week, always fun to put something out that people are gonna watch, period. I mean, that's definitely the reward. If you're gonna make anything with video or music or whatever, you want people to see it and hopefully dig it, have fun with it, appreciate it. This is one of the cooler products that you can make a video for, especially in Tallahassee, Florida. There's not that many options that are for products and branding that would be as cool as these supercars. Kind of a cool product to make a video for. Plus, I grew up with Trans Ams. Never had one. My mom had one, my dad had one, my wife had one when I met her. I've been around Trans Ams my whole life. Just made sense that the only place in the world making Trans Ams is right here in town, still in 2019. So that's it. So, and I'm gonna make, in the next episode, or one of the next 2 episodes, I am going to give some tips on some really awesome tips and information on filming cars. Whether you're photographing or filming cars, especially if you're just getting into it, I'm going to give you 5 tips that are like fantastic things to know, that I wish I had known when I first started filming cars, because I've definitely filmed a lot of car stuff at this point. So take care, guys.